Dr. Berg here. Today we're going to talk about things that you should never put on your face. Now, being in practice for 30 years, I've seen it all. So many people are using things on their face that are very dangerous, but there are 11 things that you have to be very careful of. And some of the things I want to share with you, you can put on your face, but you really need to know what you're doing. Your skin is the largest organ in your entire body. A lot of surface area. And on top of the skin, especially on your face, you have what's called an acid mantle. Now, what's that? That's a protective barrier that involves a certain pH that's slightly acidic. So in other words, your skin is not neutral, it's not basic or alkaline, it's acidic. And so if we go from neutral 7 to a 6, that's 10 times more acidic. And then from 6 to 5, that's another 10 times more acidic. Well, the skin is between 4.5 and 5.5. So it's pretty acidic. And the reason why it's acidic is you have microbes that are making it acidic. So you have, in every square centimeter, over 1 million microbes that are there to help protect you against the environment and all the things that are around you. So it's very important to understand like what the skin is, what's on it, what you need to keep on it, and also the pH, because if you put the wrong thing on it, you can screw that up and create the wrong environment. You get the redness, and then you get rashes, you get acne, you get dry skin, you have all sorts of problems. Let's first talk about number 1, apple cider vinegar on your face. Now, yes, it's acidic, but it is way, way, way too acidic. I'm talking about what some people do is they will put straight undiluted apple cider vinegar on their face. You're talking about a pH that's down into like 2 to 3, which is like battery acid. That is so acidic. You are going to create an irritation and a redness on your face that's not going to be good. So you don't want to put it on your face. In fact, this is a side note, but we sprayed apple cider vinegar on our grass to kill some weeds. Not only did it kill weeds, it killed all the grass like within 2 days. So you can imagine what it does to your face. So if you were going to use apple cider vinegar for some reason, you would want to dilute it. And I'm talking 1 teaspoon in a whole 8 ounces of water. And then you take that mixture and put it on your face if you're going to use it. But do not use straight apple cider vinegar. Okay, number 2, lemon or lime juice. You don't want to put either of these on your face or your hair. And the question is why? Well, it contains a certain phytonutrient chemical that will then potentially create a problem if you go out in the sun, okay? And that condition is called phytophotodermatitis. Phyto is a plant-based chemical, this one. Photo is the light or sun, and then dermatitis is inflammation of your skin. In other words, certain things you don't want to put on the skin and then go out in the sun. Especially this one over here, I'm going to jump to number 4, bergamot, which is essential oil. I think it's also even a perfume. You wouldn't want to put that on your face and then go out in the sun. There's a known condition that creates inflammation on the skin if you're combining that with the sun. All right, let's back up to number 3, essential oils. There's a lot of different essential oils that people are putting on their skin that they probably shouldn't put on their face. Like cedar wood or even tea tree oil, it's just too strong. It's too concentrated. And there's a lot of other essential oils that you have to be very careful with because they're going to create an irritation. One thing you could do is try just a little bit on one part of your face, just on that corner or something, to see if you react to it. But you have to be very careful of these super concentrated essential oils because they have a lot of things in them. Now, I think in other parts of your body, you could probably use it just fine, but be careful putting it on your face. What about 5, baking soda? What's wrong with that? Well, baking soda has a pH of 9. Now think about this. We got neutral being 7, and then go from 7 to 8, that's 10 times more alkaline. And then from 8 to 9, now we have a power of 10 times 10, which is 100. So the pH of baking soda is 100 times more alkaline than 7. In other words, we don't want to alkalize this acidic skin because now the microbes are not going to have the environment to exist. So you're going to create a problem with this whole living ecosystem. I mean, you can kind of look at it like soil, like it needs to be fertile, it needs to be healthy. So don't rub baking soda on your face. Toothpaste in your face. Some people do it. I don't know why they do it, but toothpaste has some pretty harsh chemicals for your teeth. Sometimes even to pull stain off. Sometimes they use hydrogen peroxide. Sometimes they use fluoride. These things should not be put on your face because sometimes people put it on little different spots. There's a much better thing that you can put on these spots. Like, for example, vitamin C serums or even the chemical in aspirin. So don't be rubbing toothpaste all over your face, okay? All right, number 7, rubbing alcohol. The problem with rubbing alcohol, I mean, you could use it in different parts of your body, but I would be very careful rubbing on your face because alcohol kills off microbes. It's antimicrobial. And you have all these good bacteria in your face that then you're going to kill off and then allow for the overgrowth of unfriendly bacteria to go on your skin. And that's when you have things like rosacea, like this redness and other issues. But realize this, the more you sterilize your face, the sicker the skin will get. So you don't want to be rubbing alcohol. And this also goes with different facial creams. Be careful of buying these creams and lotions and stuff with alcohol and then applying to the face, because not only are they going to sterilize the face and kill up the microbes and pasteurize your face, but it's also going to dry your face out as well. Hydrogen peroxide, very oxidizing and corrosive. It's good to take stains off your teeth. It's good to clean certain things, but do not put it on your face, okay, because it's too concentrated and it can create a bleaching effect that's not good, not to mention killing off the microbes, right? Number 9, hair dye put on your eyebrows or your eyelashes. The dye for hair is very strong and it can be very toxic if it can get into your eye. So if it leaks into the eye, there's been even people that have gone blind or had eye damage from that. So be careful of that on your face or your eyeballs, okay? I just wanted to add that in there. Okay, number 10, topical steroids. This is actually very common for various parts of your face that are red or irritated or flaky. It's kind of like people don't even think twice about it. A topical steroid, that's fine. Topical steroids might be okay for different parts of the body, but you have to be very careful when putting it on your face, especially if it's done over and over again. You're dealing with a steroid, a synthetic steroid that literally shuts the immune system down on your face. It gets rid of inflammation. It's an anti-inflammatory, but at the same time, it stops the growth of skin cells. It stops the production of collagen. So the big side effect is thinning of the skin. Like your skin becomes like paper thin. You start seeing blood vessels. You start having an overgrowth of unfriendly bacteria because that's one of the side effects because you're shutting down the immune system. You get skin atrophy. So the actual skin starts losing, like I said, the collagen, but also the skin cells. You may even see stretch marks and severe redness like rosacea and increased pigment or loss of pigment on the face. It's not good. I would be very hesitant about using any type of topical steroids on my face. And then number 11 is to use these exfoliating scrubs on a daily basis. Again, you are scrubbing off the microbiome off of your face. You're taking away this protection of your face and you're sterilizing it. So this can create a really big problem with the health of your skin. Most people think that healthy skin is a sterilized, clean, extra clean skin, so they scrub. And I used to do this when I had acne in high school all the time, and the more I did it, the worse my face got. It became reddened and irritated and more acne. There's nothing wrong with doing a scrub, but just don't do it every single day. Also, you want to get a filter for your shower head to filter out the chlorine and the fluoride because that can be very damaging to the skin as well. The last thing I want to bring up is with makeup, overdoing with makeup, using different foundations and things like that. Just make sure that you get a makeup that is as chemical-free as possible and as fragrance-free as possible as well, because those fragrances are also toxic to the skin microbiome. So now that I talked about what to avoid on the skin, now you should know the good things on your skin. And for that information, you should watch this video right here. Check it out.